Sometimes love isn't about the grand gesture, but about finding each other when the world is falling apart. The little things that matter. Aarav and Meera had always been the couple everyone admired. From their college days to building careers together, they had always shared laughter, adventures, and countless memories. But like many other relationships, they had its share of challenges. As life became busier, the little things that once made them smile started to fade. Long hours at work, stress, and silent dinners began to replace the joy they once knew. One evening, after a particular exhausting day, Meera found herself sitting alone on the balcony, staring at the city light. Aarav was late again, too caught up in another meeting. She sighed, feeling the weight of distance between them. It wasn't that they didn't love each other anymore, but somewhere along the way, they had forgotten how to show it. That night, Meera made a decision. She knew life wouldn't always be perfect, but love didn't need grand gestures. It needed presence, understanding, and sometimes a fresh start. The next morning, she left Aarav a small note on the kitchen table. Meet me at 7 pm, the park where we had our first date. Aarav found the note before leaving for work, his heart racing a little. He hadn't realized how far they had drifted apart, but he felt the same gap Meera did. He smiled, remembering that park, the first day, the way they had laughed about silly things. He made up his mind to leave work early that day. When Aarav arrived at the park, the evening sky was painted in hues of orange and pink, just like it had been that day. Meera was waiting by their favorite bench, that one under the large oak tree where they had spent hours talking about their dreams. When she saw him, her heart skipped a beat. It had been so long since they did take a moment for just the two of them. Aarav walked up to her, his eyes filled with apology and hope. I'm sorry, he said softly, taking her hand. I have been so caught up, I forgot what really matters. Meera smiled, a tear escaping down her cheeks. I missed you, Aarav. We both got lost for a while, but I believe we can find our way back. They sat on the bench and for the first time in months, they talked. They shared their frustrations, their fears, but more importantly, they shared their love. It wasn't about fixing everything in one conversation. It was about reconnecting, remembering why they had chosen each other in the first place. As the stars began to twinkle in the sky, Aarav pulled out a small crumbled piece of paper from his pocket. I have been carrying this since the day we first met, he said, unfolding it. It was a list of dreams they had made together, travels, hobbies, silly things like learning to cook together. I think it's time we start working on this again. Meera laughed, wiping her tears. I think so too. That night, as they walked hand in hand through the park, it wasn't about making grand plans for the future. It was about rediscovering the little things that made them happy, the small moments that build the foundation of their love. Life would always have its ups and downs, but as long as they had each other, they knew they could weather any storm. And so, in that quiet park where it had all begun, they found their way back to each other, not through grand gestures, but through love's quiet persistence.